What do koalas and humans have in common? When they don't want to eat their greens, they just say no. Welcome to the first chapter in our series on the art of saying no. Picture this: a koala, perched high in a eucalyptus tree, nonchalantly rejecting anything that isn't a eucalyptus leaf. It's a funny image, isn't it? But there's an important lesson to be gleaned from these furry little creatures. They know what they want, and they're not afraid to say no to anything else. On the other hand, we humans often find ourselves in a conundrum when it comes to uttering that tiny two-letter word, no. It's as if we're programmed to be people pleasers, always saying yes, even when our hearts, minds, and sometimes even our bodies are screaming no. Maybe it's societal pressure that nudges us towards a reluctant yes, or perhaps it's the fear of missing out, that nagging worry that we'll be left behind while everyone else is having a grand old time. Or it could be that we're just so terrified of disappointing others that we'd rather disappoint ourselves instead. Do we really need to say yes to everything? The answer, my friends, is a resounding no. There's an art to saying no, a skill that once mastered can lead to a more balanced, less stressful life. Think about it. Saying no can be empowering. It means taking control of your time, your energy, and your life. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing what truly matters to you. It's about respecting yourself enough to stand up for what you believe in, even if it means turning down an offer or an invitation. Saying no doesn't mean you're being rude or selfish. It simply means you're choosing to honor your own needs and desires. It's a way of asserting your independence, your self-respect, and your right to choose. So next time you're faced with a decision you're not keen on, channel your inner koala and just say no. Say, ever agreed to babysit your cousin's 6 kids only to realize you've signed up for a real-life Home Alone sequel? Imagine this scenario. You're at a family gathering, and your cousin, the one with the charming brood of 6, casually asks if you could watch their kids next Friday. You, being the good-natured soul that you are, agree without a second thought. Fast forward to that fateful Friday night. You're surrounded by a whirlwind of shrieking, jumping, and general chaos. There's a twin hanging from the chandelier, another painting the dog blue, and the eldest has decided to conduct a science experiment in your living room. What was supposed to be a quiet night in has turned into an all-out circus, complete with popcorn on the ceiling and a suspiciously quiet 4-year-old hiding somewhere. Now, this catastrophe could have been avoided if you just said 2 letters. N-O. Saying no is not about being selfish or rude. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing your own needs and well-being. It's about understanding that your time and energy are valuable, and that it's okay to protect them. Saying no can be the difference between a peaceful night in and a night of playing referee in a juvenile wrestling match. So remember, folks, saying no can sometimes save you from a night of stepping on Lego bricks barefoot. So, how do we say no without sounding like a grumpy old cat hissing at everyone? Imagine this. You're minding your own business, enjoying a quiet Saturday afternoon when your neighbor pops over, inviting you to their infamous karaoke night. You'd rather wrestle a crocodile than endure another rendition of Sweet Caroline. However, you don't want to hurt their feelings. Here's how you can navigate this situation gracefully. First, remember to be clear, direct, and polite. You might say, "Thanks for the invite, mate. I appreciate it, but I've got other plans." No need to elaborate on what those plans are. You're not on trial here. Secondly, express gratitude. Even if you'd rather listen to a dingo howl at the moon than your neighbor's karaoke, appreciate the offer. It's always nice to be included, even if the event isn't your cup of tea. Thirdly, offer an alternative if you're comfortable doing so. Maybe something like, "I can't make it to karaoke, but how about we grab a coffee next week instead?" This shows that while you're saying no to the event, you're not rejecting the person. And remember, it's okay to say no. You're not a wallaby caught in the headlights. You're a human being with your own preferences and boundaries. And there you have it, mate. The next time you don't fancy singing Sweet Caroline for the 100th time, you now know how to bow out gracefully